Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pod of War Nintencast, episode 4. I'm joined this week by Massive Das Chris Mangeli.
Hello, everyone.
And Pengu's 2023, welcome. Welcome to 2023, obviously the year of dreams.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about some of those dreams today. So before we get too far, Le Peng, tell us what you've been
hmm
buying and playing on the Switch.
Well, actually, I haven't played or bought a lot on the Switch for quite a while now. Mostly like a month or two. The last thing I mostly just played was Pokemon on it.
That's madness, Pengy. Absolute madness.
Well, yeah, I know. I've been playing that PlayStation, unfortunately.
It's disgusting. You do not get anything for Christmas?
Yeah, I got the Hellpoint off you, but that's the only Switch game I got for
Then
Christmas.
you're telling me you haven't played that yet.
I have not played Hellpoint yet, no.
I can't wait for the full stream.
hmm
Love it. Well, for me, I've obviously talked on the show that I've got quite a lot of Switch games for Christmas, but what I'm playing at the moment is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That I
Nice.
borrowed off Craig. Very good game.
hmm
Very, very good game. I'm like 3 worlds in, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, I could see me getting that done. Maybe even by the end of next week. Maybe the end of this week. Who knows? But yeah, it's a really fun game, and it is part of my hashtag backlog, which is my main plan for 2023, as it is almost every year, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's it. So I guess with that nice, quick, short thing, we move on to the first Pengy news section of the show.
hmm
Pengy, talk to us about 2023.
Yeah, so Nintendo upcoming 2023 um starts off obviously in January with Fire Emblem Engage, which I'm very excited about, and there's been some more hands-on previews on the game, and I believe on the Japanese website it's now got like all the main characters and all like the emblems, from like all the games and stuff has now been announced. So pretty soon. It's 20th, so it's only like 15 days away from recording this. So very excited for Fire Emblem. So that my Switch will be getting turned on for that one.
Lovely. Yeah, I think it's tough. Don't think I want to pre-order it,
Mm.
um, but I do want to play it. So it's just, I guess it depends on what the finances are like. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's one of those ones. If you miss out, like Free Houses is now normally like if you see it in CX or something, it's like 50 quid
yeah,
plus. Even though it's now more expensive than it was when it came out.
yeah.
Even though it's not like a rare game or anything,
No.
sort of thing.
I
So
think it's
it's
just a
one of
week
those.
too early for me,
Yeah.
if I'm honest. If it's a week before payday, so if I'm free and I've got some money, then I think maybe it looks really fun. I'm still a little bit torn on some of the anime sides of it, but obviously the animation stuff will really smooth and the gameplay will be fantastic because it always is. So I'm sure it'll be a killer, and I'm sure it'll be a really good way for Nintendo to start the year.
Yes. And then the following month in February, Nintendo have the Kirby. Is it Return to
It's
Dreamland
Return to
Deluxe?
Dreamland Deluxe Edition, yeah.
Yeah, because I just been calling it the Kirby Remaster because it's a remaster of
Very
a
clever of you,
Wii
Pengu.
game. Yes. Are you excited or not about Kirby considering
So
you are playing a Kirby
it's like
game?
I'm loving Kirby right now, and I like 2D
hmm
Kirby. I've played 2D Kirby quite a bit. It's just, I think, again, this is going to sound kind of similar. I think it's a little too expensive. It's
Yeah, this does.
$49.99, same price as Fire Emblem, and I
hmm
think for the type of game it is, I think £10 cheaper would have definitely helped tempt me to
Yeah,
get it.
and Nintendo do that now and again. I remember the Wario Wear game on Switch was
Yeah, and I
cheaper.
think Captain
Wii
Toad was
Sports,
cheaper.
the
Wii Sports was
Sports was cheap.
cheaper. Yeah,
I know they did like the one with the like leg strap and stuff, but yeah, that was cheaper. They do it occasionally, and it is a remaster of a Wii game. So, and I'm not even sure was that a remake, Return of
I
Dreamland
think
of
it
like.
could have been a remake. It could be a
So
remaster of a remake.
yeah, it could be. So it's a weird one, and February's a very busy month as well for games. Like it's not a Switch exclusive, but I can see Octopath Traveler obviously being doing big numbers on Switch with the first one like originally launching on the Switch. So yeah, it's an interesting title to be coming from Nintendo.
Yeah, it's probably one that I'd probably look at it like I might pick it up later in the year
Mm,
if I see it cheap somewhere, or like slightly reduced. Because sometimes on Amazon those games drop to like £35. So like maybe
yeah.
something like that, I'd be much more tempted. But yeah,
Yeah, if it was a little bit cheaper, that'd be good. And then March, they got the very recently announced. It was announced at the Game Awards, Bayonetta Origins.
yeah. This is what I'm quite excited for. And I still
I picked up
have.
in our fantasy credit,
You did.
so
It's one of those where I'm like, I would quite like to get it. Um, I need to play the 2 and 3 first, which is
mm,
probably the biggest thing that will stop me from getting it, because I do have 3, and obviously I own 2 already that I want to play. But yeah, it's one of those. I think it looks interesting because it's a little bit different. Um, but it's very much a case for me of catching up on the rest of the series, and
yeah.
then do it.
Yeah, this is another one I could have seen. It is 50, pound. I could have seen Nintendo maybe being a little bit cheaper due to it being like much different and like the art style and stuff of it. But it's just one of those sort of things. But I am keen for it. There's not a lot actually that I'm that fussed about coming in March. In general, in gaming, it's like that and Jedi Survivor. So I mostly will definitely get picked up.
Nice.
Yeah. Then April, Nintendo don't have a game at the moment in April, but they do have the Mario movie.
Which is big, and I'd be amazed if there's not some crossover somewhere.
Yeah, I just think I think we'll get a Mario game this year. It'd just be weird if like we have a direct in February and then it's like months later. It's like, yep, new 3D Mario is 2 months away or something.
I feel like
Um,
it wouldn't stop them though, you know.
no, it wouldn't stop Nintendo. They are like one of the few that can do that. I just think when you think new big Mario game, you're thinking like a November release, not like a random April. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
So will you see the Mario movie?
Oh, I'll absolutely see the Mario movie. I'll probably try and get tickets as soon as they go on sale. Might even go
Yeah.
to the fancy Clifton um, Everyman Cinema to watch it on a sofa, chill. But yeah, I love the Sonic ones, so let's give Mario a chance.
I've still not seen the second Sonic movie.
It's good. I think both the Sonic films are very watchable, especially if you're a Sonic fan, which I know
Yeah.
you used to be back in the day.
Mm. Yeah. Then so after April we come to May, which we have the big one, which is Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, which is, I think it kind of has to be a pre-order, doesn't it, for both of us?
Yes. Yes,
Probably,
it does.
potentially the last big Switch game.
Yeah, because
Um,
that is
that's one of the rumors at
like
the moment.
one of the rumors. This is the last. The rumor is significant Switch game.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that sort of means
I think you'll still get more
get.
smaller like you'll still get Pikmin 4, and you'll still get
Yeah,
remasters and remakes and stuff. I think.
yeah. So I don't know if like we get to October and we got Wind Waker remaster, like that's
People are
not
really still hoping for this, aren't they?
if that doesn't count as a significant game, but is still something from Nintendo putting out. Yeah, so we got this in May. There was obviously that the leak of the OLED special edition system, which a lot now are saying is mostly fake due to like what the Joy-Con looks like and the box art's not quite right. But I can imagine we're getting a Tears of the Kingdom OLED. It's
Well,
Zelda,
we got a Pokemon one and we got a Splatoon one,
Splatoon.
so I don't know why we wouldn't get a Zelda one.
Yeah, it would seem very
Especially if the
unlikely. So
first one didn't have a Zelda one, you know.
yeah, I can see very much getting a special edition OLED, which I would be very keen for because it's Zelda.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can never have enough Zelda consoles. So that's the only thing that's the only things Nintendo's got announced. Apart from they've got Advance Wars Reboot Camp, which who
A poor
knows
game.
when we're gonna get that.
A
Yeah.
poor game.
I still wouldn't be surprised if it just randomly just drops on the eShop and that's it. We don't get a physical; it just comes out on the eShop. Um,
Yeah, maybe. I hope not. I'd
which
like a physical.
yeah, and then if it goes on the eShop and it's 49.99, I'll be like, cool, but I'm not paying that for a
Yeah.
digital only title. But I can see it happening. They just putting out a tweet or something like, "Yep, and Hats Wars out this week," and then never talk about it again. Um, then obviously you got Metro Prime 4, which is you picked up in Fantasy Credits, which I counter picked was because I cannot see this game coming
It
at all.
depends entirely on the Switch 2.
Mm.
The Switch 2, if Zelda isn't the last big game, the Switch 2 isn't announced this year, then I think you will get Metro Prime in some form this year.
Yeah.
But if it not,
That
it'll be
those
a launch title,
remasters, the
sadly.
Metro Prime remasters, they've been again, and I guess they would also go into the rumor if he were to get them in like August or something. They're
Yeah.
not
Well,
like
if we
I
don't get
wouldn't
Metro
say
Prime 4 this year, it will be a launch title for the new
yeah
console. That's
yeah.
what I think.
And then obviously it's Pikmin 4 is the other like to be confirmed
Yeah,
date.
I think we will get that this
Yeah.
year.
See, I feel that again. I know we had like this back in like an E3 or whatever, like Mario Rabbids 2. It's like people were saying that looked too good for Switch. Pikmin 4 to me from the trailer looks too good to be a
No.
Switch game.
Play Pikmin 3 on the Switch, and it's still a ridiculously good looking game, and that was 10 years old or whatever. So
Mm,
the Switch can do it. It's just that only Nintendo really knows how.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Pikmin 4 will be fine. I think it will be on Switch. They want that game. If they want that franchise to ever be anything, it needs to come out on a platform with 100 million consoles, not
Yeah.
a launch title on a million. You know what I mean? So I think we'll see Pikmin 4. I hope we see it this year. If we don't see Metro Prime 4, we will see Pikmin 4. That's kind of how I view it.
Possibly.
I can't see us seeing both. I'd love to see both, but I can't see it.
Yeah, I just feel Pikmin 4 is going to be a Switch like 2 launch game, which like you're saying like with the sales and that, but I think it would be one of those games like, oh, I'm getting the Switch 2. Oh, there's Pikmin 4, Just
But
Dance
if it launches
2024,
with Pikmin 4,
EA
it turns
Sports
into the Wii U.
24.
That's the problem.
Mm.
That's not a game that Nintendo are going to risk launching a console around anymore. Like it would literally need like a Mario Odyssey level Mario game as well. And what's the point of putting it out at the same time as Pikmin and just killing Pikmin? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we'll see. One of us is right, I suspect, but we will see.
Yeah,
By the
and
end of the year.
the other stuff we know about this, the Splatoon 3 single player expansion, which was announced just
Will it
before
go
the
straight
game
into
launched.
NSO? That's the question.
I don't think it will.
Unless it swaps out with Octo Expansion. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, and there's also the I've already paid and got the season pass or the expansion pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which the content was ends December 2023. We've had one of the new sort of characters and their missions, and there's two other like characters. I think one of them's coming like March, and then there's the big expansion should be out before December 2023, and based on Torna Golden Country and Future Connect, that's going to be like a 20-hour like thing. So that's going to be substantial on its own, when that comes out. So it'd be basically a new Xenoblade game next year. So it's just when's it coming between now and December 2023. So
Very cheeky.
well, that is all what Nintendo have announced. So after May, it is nothing with dates, which may be a little bit worrying. Like I said, we don't have anything in April apart from the movie. So do you think we get like a Nintendo Direct like in February or something? Just
Well, it's the $1 million question, isn't it? Every year, Nintendo. I think we will get one, but I don't know if there's going to be a big one. If that makes sense. Like I think they will do a specific Mario one. They will obviously do a Zelda one, but I could see them doing a smaller one, even a mini, or maybe a big one in what's going to have to be either the end of this month or some point next month, right?
Yeah, because like you said, if they have a one in April looking at Mario, they have one in May looking at Zelda. So if you do need one, I guess before April, then
Just depends what they have. That's the honest truth. Like if they want to do, like I'm surprised they haven't done a Fire Emblem one yet. Like usually, through recent memory, they've been doing them for most of their bigger releases. They'll do like a 20-minute like Fire Emblem only video.
Yeah,
Um,
they did that with, like Xenoblade and that. Yeah,
yeah,
I am a little bit surprised, but
but it
they've
depends
done.
what they want to come out before E3. That's, I guess, like if they're gonna have games that come out in June, then they will do one, probably either just before Fire Emblem comes out or just before um, Kirby comes out, so then they can show Kirby, they can show Bayonetta Origins, they can show some more Zelda footage, they can show the DLC on about, they can show the third-party games they've got, and then one or two little stingers of newer games, maybe finally a date for Advance Wars, like you know what I mean. So I feel like it will happen, but when it does, I mean, I'm fed up of guessing. But if you were gonna put a gun to my head, I would guess February. But there's
Yeah,
a little bit of me that thinks it could be January.
could be. It could be. I'm not sure what they normally do because that's normally what people do. They're like, they normally go, well, last February we had a direct, so we're gonna have
Oh
one
god,
this
yeah. I
February.
genuinely
Yeah.
don't think that. If you line them up, I don't think it works out. I think it's like a 6-week window. Like I remember in the Wii U era, they used to do one in January a lot.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But since I haven't been that into the Switch, so I haven't really paid that much attention. But yeah, I suppose the question to feed into 2023 is, first of all, is there any third-party games that you're interested in that you haven't talked about for the Switch this year?
It's an odd one because now I've got my PS5 stuff that I played on Switch in 2022 because I played like according to my Switch 2022 like wrap up thing. I think it was 48 games on the
Nice.
Switch, and I worked out it was like 560 hours. It was like the most I've ever played Switch, and out of like the 50 odd games I actually finished, like 40 of them or something ridiculous was on the Switch. But I play things like Diefo Chronicles on Switch, where this year I will almost should play Octopath Traveler and Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm on PlayStation, sort of thing. So I don't really think might be indies. Like the weird Nintendo exclusive indies. Like you got one called, I think it's called Blanc, which is Q1, which is like the black and white one with the deer and the fox sort of thing. Like that, I can see me playing on Switch, along with like obviously the Nintendo first party. But I do think this year is gonna be basically just the exclusives with Nintendo, which okay, I've got like one a month now until like May, so that's fine, and Zelda will be like 30 hours, and so will Fire Emblem, so there's plenty of content in the indies and that keep going, but third party, so you can definitely see me cutting down on Switch compared to 2022.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm curious to whether I'll be the same, because
Mm.
really my Switch traditionally is the JRPG machine or the
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo exclusive machine. So like, if you look at the games I've played on the Switch over the last 5 years, I mean, half of them are Pokemon games, and the other half are probably Square Enix games. So
Yeah.
it's like, do I
Yeah,
continue that, or do I?
nearly all the third-party games I actually did play last year on Switch were JRPGs, and the ones I bought last year and haven't played yet are
Yeah,
nearly all JRPGs. So they do feel sort of at home on Nintendo systems. I think that's
yeah.
because obviously we grew up with like the Game Boy and
And I
DSs
and I
and
think,
stuff.
from to be honest, like the reason I play them on Switch is the opposite reason to you. Is It's not anything to do with it being home. Is I'll play it in handheld because turn-based
Mm,
games work really well handheld. But to be honest with you, like I've got some games on my list of games I want to buy slash pre-order this year. Almost all of them are coming to PS4 slash PS5, so
mm.
I'm probably going to get them on there and get better graphics, uh, just everything else better. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And probably, to be honest with you, pay less money because that's kind of the other big problem with Switch. So I was looking at
Mm.
a JRPG that's on Switch and PS5 the other day, and it was like double the price to buy it on Switch. It's like,
Yeah,
like why
I
would I
do
do
know
that?
that because Crisis Core I was going to get on Switch, but I think of it. It's like I know I got the PS4 version, and it's a free upgrade, but I think it was something like 18 quid more on
Yeah,
Switch than the PS4 version, which is like kind of ridiculous amounts different
yeah,
because you get the PS4 version and I can with that 18 quid I could buy that Blanc game I'm on about on Switch or something. I can't see that being more than 20 quid, for instance. Where it is crazy. Is what I was saying. Go back to Fire Emblem. If you don't get engaged, I think in the first couple of months, you might have a problem actually wanting to play it after a while because it just somehow become rare and expensive.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, it depends. Like certain things, like Pokemon is always available and relatively cheap, but yeah, they seem to be
Mm,
sometimes a bit strange with their Fire Emblem releases. Like at the moment, Free Hopes is 35, which
mm,
is like I know that's not made by Nintendo technically speaking, but it's like
mm,
we'll see. I mean, I don't want to be beholden to
mm.
that. You know what I mean? Like that's what annoys me with Nintendo a little bit because like I would love to play Fire Emblem Engage. I just don't want to play it in 15 days time because I
Yeah.
don't have any money. Like you know what I mean? It's different if I do have money, and then I can get it. But it's like in other games I've got pre-ordered like line up with paydays, so it's like I can't really afford to get Kirby because it doesn't line up with a payday. But then there's another game that's on Switch and PS4 that I'm going to pre-order that lines up perfectly for a payday. So it's like and obviously then I'm going to America in March, so I can't really splurge
Oh,
too
see, in
much
America,
between now
you
and
can.
America.
Yeah, yeah, but in America, there'll be like 800 million Switch releases.
But yeah,
You can
probably like if I
find.
roll into a GameStop and I see something
Yeah,
for a
and
good
you'd be like,
price and a good
yeah,
exchange
you'd be
rate, yeah,
like,
I'll pick it up.
yeah, yeah, you'd be like all these. You'll see more like limited run and strictly limited games and stuff over there
Yeah.
compared to like over here, sort of thing. And I guess why we are chatting and that it's obviously it's January. It's only a couple months away until both eShops and no, well, you won't be able to buy anything on the Wii U and 3DS eShop. So have you got any plans to like pick up any stuff on the Wii U and 3DS? Um, so like I looked the other day on my 3DS when I was playing Fire Emblem. At the sale, there's a lot of shovelware indie stuff on sale, but Atlas. Weirdly, it's not actually Atlas, but it's Atlas Games. I think it's like NSI is, and NIS have actually published them. So it's like Persona Q1's on sale, but Q2 isn't because Q2 is published through Atlas. And that's like 3 or 4 quid. I don't think there's anything on the Wii U on sale, but obviously the Virtual Console on Wii U is very good. So is there any plans of like going back and picking up some stuff before you won't be able to pick anything up
So
on
honestly,
those two
no.
systems?
The honest answer is no, because I did when it got announced. I went and bought kind of everything I wanted.
Yeah,
On Wii U, 3DS, I just don't. One, I don't. I think I've lent it to my girlfriend, so I don't even really know whether it is. And two, like I just don't play games on the 3DS anymore. If I were to buy a new 3DS, it'd be different, like a new 3DS XL. Sorry, God, what a
yeah.
confusing name. But no, Wii U, I kind of have everything I want. There's a couple of like GBA and DS titles, particularly like the Fire Emblem ones, that I'm like, well, I
Mm.
could pick up, but then I'm like, well, it probably will come to NSO at some point. Like Nintendo will
Yeah,
make
that's the
those games
thing.
available again. There's like I have um, Metroid Prime Trilogy. I have
Yeah, that's the
a
one
lot
that
of stuff like
always
that.
tempts us. That tempts me because it's like 20 quid, I
Yeah, and like
believe.
if they do re-release that on Switch, like the Wiimote is kind of essential
Mm.
for 3, and it just plays better with the Wiimote and Nunchuk and 1 and 2. So it's like I have them already. I have all the Mario and Luigi games. I have a couple of the other type of games that I wanted. Like I have Super Mario RPG and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and all that. So yeah, it's tough for Nintendo because if I could, I would go and spend 50, 60 quid and get loads, but I just don't. There's probably no point because I think anything I want to play, I either already own or it's gonna come down the line. Like as much as I'd love to buy Persona Q, for example, there's no way I want that digital. So
Mm.
it's like tied to the console, not tied to my account as well. So it's like,
Yeah,
hmm.
I guess in turn because there's a couple of Wii games on the Wii U, like Virtual Console, like I think it's called Shadow's Tale or something like that,
Yeah,
and
what's on there?
Pandora's like Tower. I wouldn't mind playing again. That's
Yeah,
not
the
had like
Square Enix ones are on there. I
remasters.
think the last story will be on there as well. I have
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy 2 because I was in a sale when it came out.
Mm.
Stuff like that. And I think I even have Xenoblade. Actually, I think I have Xenoblade's Wii version
Yeah.
on the Wii U eShop, which again is a decent-ish version because you can use the gamepad controls on that, and it's slightly up-resed. Obviously, you have the definitive edition now, so that's a bad example. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think there's
It
much.
what I was gonna go into like that Shadow Tale, for instance, 20 quid on the shop. Persona Q is a fiver or something at the moment on the
I
3DS
think
eShop
if
because it's on
Punch Out was
sale.
cheaper, that would tempt me because you can
Um,
play that with the gamepad.
do you worry when so March is over, we come to April 1st, you can't buy Shadow Tales on the eShop. You can't buy Persona Q on the 3DS eShop. I know Shadow Tales not a great example because it's a Wii game. I'm trying to think of some Wii U games that you can buy. Let's say Devil's Third's already expensive on Wii U, and I don't think it's on
So
the
like I
eShop
have
anymore.
like to help you figure out, I have the Pushmo World game, for example. That's
Yeah,
digital only.
yeah, but I was thinking like the ones that do have a physical, like a Persona Q. Do you worry come 1st of April, you can't buy them on the eShop? The only way you're gonna get them physical is by paying. When Nintendo games obviously hold their value and collectors and stuff, do you worry that the value of some like the 3DS is kind of cheap at the moment to get physical games for? But if you look at the DS, you have like Omi Komi Den, the sequel to Okami, and like Last Window are like 50, 60 quid games. Do you sort of worry like Fire Emblem Fates, like the third one's already expensive, or that these games are going to get even more
Worry is not the
expensive?
worry is not the word because it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
It's going to get more expensive. It's already
Mm,
started to get more expensive. But the
mm,
truth is, if I wanted to buy and play those games, I already would have done it. So there's no point me crying about it being more expensive. Like if I wanted to buy and own those games, I already would. So it's like I get it for like collectors, but like if you're collecting Nintendo games, as you know, you kind of have to be on the ground floor and
yeah.
get them when they come out. Like that's the kind of the reason I haven't done it with Switch. I did it with Wii U, I did it with 3DS, but like I haven't done it with Switch. There's no point. Like I don't have the money to pre-order all these games and collector's editions and stuff, and then not sell them. So it's like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like we are going to
Yeah.
lose access to these games one way or the other because it's just Nintendo does a really bad job of backwards compatibility in that respect. So it's like it sucks, but it's like it's just what it is. Like there's PS1 games I can't play anymore. You know what I mean? There's original Xbox games that don't work the way they should. So it's like it's just kind of the way of things, unfortunately, and you just have to hope that
Yeah.
Nintendo does a better job making them available on the
No,
next
it's
system.
just
That's
yes.
the thing I hope for. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing I want, Pengy, that I don't already have for 3DS and
Sure.
um,
It's
Wii U,
just
and
I
everything
was
else gets announced as remasters anyway. So
yeah. I was just thinking because it's one that I missed on the DS, and obviously I've mostly found about it in recent years. This Last Window, for instance, on the DS, and even though I have bought expensive, obviously Nintendo games, and I have spent money on, I would mostly buy Fire Emblem on the DS as I thought saw it, but I don't want to pay like 50, 60 quid for a Last Window. And like I don't want to come down in let's say a year or two times like oh someone goes did you play so and so on the 3DS? I was like oh no that looks really good. Oh yeah, it's now 70 quid. Yeah, I'm never gonna play that game. And like the Last Window, like I
yeah,
totally missed out on the DS.
it's kind of. I mean, I had this exact same problem on PSP to Vita.
Mm.
There's a PSP game I actually really want to play, and the cheapest I can see it on Amazon right now with this very quick check is well over £100. So it's like
Oh, what's that? Okay.
Trails of the Sky.
Okay.
So like you know what I mean? Where I was like
Yeah, I
stuff
know
like
which
that,
one.
and it's
Mm.
like okay, I think it just seems to be the way, especially with the Japanese side of
Games.
things, because
Yeah.
I think with like Xbox and Sony to a lesser extent, because obviously they are pretty much an American company. It's just like I think people are just like it's fine. We'll find a way to take your money more, but yeah,
Mm.
it is what it is, Panky.
Yeah.
And I suppose the last question to ask is, this is I kind of know the answer to this, but what we talking in terms of new hardware for Pengy?
Um, if there's a special edition Zelda OLED, I will most probably pick that up. I didn't get the Splatoon one, I didn't get the Pokemon one, but Zelda I mostly get because I have the Zelda SP, Zelda DS, and I have a Zelda 3DS, so I would be tempted to get the OLED. Um, and I would obviously most probably get the Switch 2 if that was this year. Like based on like history and stuff, like the Wii U actually launched wasn't actually that bad. There wasn't no like huge standout game, but there was quite a few games, and like the Switch like basically had Zelda and not a lot else, and I didn't like Breath of the Wild, so I am a little bit and worried that and again, even with like the PS5, it's took me like sort of like 2 years to really get back into the PS5 because there's not been a huge lot on there. So I'm like, I should really be sensible and wait for Switch 2 until we get like Odyssey 2 on there and Pokemon Black and White 2, Pikmin 4, and Metro Prime 4, and I don't know, Fire Emblem, Four Houses, whatever. But and you know what I'm like and you know what you were like. It'll be a Switch 2 day one with Pikmin
I
4 or whatever
hope
launch
with
game
all
is.
of my being that Switch 2 doesn't come out this year because
Mm,
I will buy one at launch.
yeah.
So if it comes out next year, I've got an extra 12 months to just warn my new girlfriend that yes, I will be buying new consoles the day they come out, and yes, I have no self control because she doesn't know that yet, Chris. So it's
Mm,
she'll learn. She'll learn very quickly.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of a Switch Pro or a Switch OLED or something like that, like a small upgrade, I can't see it for me personally. I just don't play the Switch in undocked enough.
Mm,
If I play it, I pretty much only play it in docked, and to be honest with you, that's the reason I haven't bought an OLED because in handheld my Switch is dying. So it's
mm,
like that's why I've slowed down on the Square Enix RPGs for it. Whereas even Pokemon, I played pretty much exclusively docked, which was very strange because obviously usually I will grind in that game in bed.
mm,
So we'll see. I mean, if my Switch broke and there was a Zelda OLED, of course that's what I'd get. Um, but yeah, it kind of feels like for me personally, like the Switch is on this like weird trajectory where I have to do all my backlog games, and then Zelda happens, and then when Zelda's happened, it's who knows what happens after that. But yeah,
mm.
right now I'm like, yep, get free Kirby. I've still got to play Luigi's Mansion 3. I still could play Triangle Strategy that I've brought off Craig. Like, there's plenty for me to play on my Switch. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, God, just too many games.
Mm.
Especially with these JRPGs I'm playing on other platforms, which is... I've got about 3 on the go at the minute, Pengy. It's alright, pain in the ass.
Oh, you can never have enough JRPGs on the go.
It's true. Well, that just about does it for episode 4 of the Nintencast. If you like this show, like it, subscribe to the channel. We will do more. Me and Chris love talking about Nintendo. I know this is quite a short one for us, but there'll be a huge blowout. And if there is a Nintendo Direct, you better believe that me and Chris will maybe even live stream react to it, which would be fun, wouldn't it, Pengu? So
Yes.
thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.